Good evening and welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court, June 4th, 2019, 6:03 p.m. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Laswell?
Here.
Mr. Rago?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell? Yes. Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Reggie Radio will lead us in an invocation.
Please stand for me, please. Lord Jesus, we just love you. We thank you just for the opportunity to be here tonight, Lord. We ask you for wisdom. The word says that we ask for wisdom. You would give it to us abundantly, Lord. For every decision we make in this county, Lord, we ask for to be united together, Lord. And we ask for just blessings over this courtroom, Lord, blessings over all the people in it, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As presented to you, the transfer reports for dated for May the 31st of 2019 and also for today, June 4th.
Make a motion to approve the transfer report. Second.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Gray Hill, and a second by 2nd District Magistrate Lawson. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Rago?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Presentation approval of all bills. Got a motion by 1st District Magistrate Mitchell, second by 3rd District Magistrate Laswell, for approval and pay the bills. Sam, call the roll.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rago?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We have some presentations. We have one that's on the addendum, but I would like to start with 2nd District Magistrate Austin or Trish or Ms. Mose, please. Please come up.
Can everybody hear me this time? First of all, we've invited somebody very special here today with us that's been committed to help out in the Mount Washington area for several, how many years now, Tricia? 4 years. We just opened up the pools, obviously recreational, something very important to me. It's something very important to a lot of the other magistrates and the judge as well. But when other counties are finding ways to cut out recreation in Louisville, all the pools were closed down. You know, we looked at the budget real tight and we found ways to renew our partnership with the YMCA. So a lot of people don't understand how that works. The Bullitt County Fiscal Court is responsible for maintaining the pool. If I'm not mistaken, the school board actually owns the property where the pool is. But obviously we need resources to help support the pool, so we partnered with the YMCA. The pool's not a profit center by any means, so that's why we provide, I think it was $63,000 we voted on to help support the Maryville pool and the Mount Washington pool. And I wanted to reach out to Tricia because Tricia has been instrumental in the last 4 years. She told me that she got involved when you first reached out. I thought, who is this lady? You know, she was wanting painting done, wanting doors done, and that's really awesome. I took a step backwards and I seen what she was doing and how inspired she was to make a difference in the community. Tricia's got a daughter that's a lifeguard at the YMCA, and that's why she got involved. And believe it or not, when I was in college, I worked at the YMCA for 3 years and was a lifeguard and a camp counselor there. So the YMCA is important to me, important to, you know, the youth in our community. So by us providing that money to help support the YMCA, they're able to help support, you know, the staff concessions and do a lot of different things. So I wanted to reach out to Tricia though, because Tricia has went to every city council meeting, she's been to every fiscal court meeting, and asked for things to make it better. So had she not been asking, I think a lot of things may have been forgotten. So it takes people like Tricia in our community to really step up and do some big things. So I want to invite her here on behalf of the fiscal court, and I spoke with Judge Summers about that, about recognizing Tricia in our community for somebody being an outstanding citizen. In this day and age, you get on Facebook, it's nothing but negativity. It really is. There's a lot of people that talks about things, and that was one of the reasons I ran for office. A lot of people talk about things, but you know, when it comes to actually implementing them and doing them, it's a lot different. And Tricia is one that talks about it, but not only does she talk about it, she gets out there and she's scrubbing toilets and painting walls and doing everything she can. So we really want to recognize her today for everything she's done over the last 4 years to help Mount Washington Pool in particular be a lot better place. I know we gave away some hot dogs and drinks the other day, and it was packed. So there was a lot of people there on the opening weekend. It was really neat to see all those kids and families there, all kinds of different demographics really enjoying the pool. And as a fiscal court, I know that's something we're proud of, to be able to provide something, to give back to the youth in our partnership with YMCA. So we've got a certificate. I wish we could do a lot more, but it's a certificate of recognition presented to Tricia Moak. So in recognition of your appreciation and dedication to the citizens of Bullitt County.
Talk too long. Okay. Skip the minutes, he's got to read the minutes.
So hopefully we can do more of this and see more people in the community stepping up and trying to make this a better place. So thanks a lot.
And also, what we do is the fiscal court as well. Sheriff Scheller does a deputy of the month, but this time he has co-deputies.
Just one.
Just one this evening, okay, here we go. So, well,
And Judge, there was going to be, we were going to have another one, but his duties called him away. He's been involved in a drug investigation as we speak and was not able to be here, so we plan to take him, bring and make his presentation at the next fiscal court meeting. That's each quarter, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, since our administration came in, we've been presenting and we've taken nominations and presented a Deputy of the Month award each month since January. And for the month of April, I would like to take and present to you Sergeant Alan Thompson. Sergeant Alan Thompson stepped up at the end of January when one of our deputies that had been taking care of the court security retired, and he assumed the responsibility at that time as acting sergeant, and then within about 3 weeks, we made the determination to promote him to sergeant, and he is in charge of all of the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office employees over at the Judicial Center. And the Judicial Center, so far this year, has had approximately 52,000 people that we have had come through our portals to have their matters heard before the judicial judges over there in the Judicial Center. Sergeant Thompson is the permanent supervisor there now. He works very well with our 4 judges, Judge Spanar, Judge Burris, Judge Meredith, and Judge Porter. They have sang his praises from the very beginning, and Paulita Keith works very well with him. He's been instrumental in helping us put together some new ideas that we have on increasing the level of security that we have over there. And here in a bit, either tonight, or at the next meeting, I will take and provide more details as to the activity that we've had this month over at the Judicial Center. So with that, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to present Sergeant Alan Thompson to be awarded let me get over here, Alan, to be awarded the Deputy of the Month of the Bullitt County, for the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office. Alan. thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. We need approval of the minutes from the May 21st meeting, 2019. Got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, second by Second District Magistrate Logston. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Step here, President. Rob, first reading, public hearing zoning ordinance 2019 Z-14. Oh, okay. All right. Move on. Come on.
My name is Susie Ellison. I am a field worker with the Bullitt County PBA. Mr. Rasner is in on this bill. No, he doesn't have his, we call it a jug and a banjo with him, which is a great bluegrass place, but he's at the conference. And he wanted us to speak on what was happening in our PBA. As y'all know, this week several letters have went out. I'm not here to discuss that. If you have any issues, please tell us. Okay, I am still here to tell you that we have completed our assessment in quad 1. The county is broken into 4 different quads. Each year we do a different one, and this year we have completed our quad. We have sent out our notices, our reassessment notices. We have sent approximately 85 to 9,000 letters out. So, our first recap is due to be completed with a 90% approval rate. We anticipate certification from the Department of Revenue in a timely manner and without incident. Okay. The notice for the inspection period was printed in the Pioneer News on Monday, and the inspection period is from June the 10th to June the 22nd. With the impending nomination and appointment this evening, we will have a complete Board of Assessment Appeals. Orientation and training of these board members has been recommended. The PBA will ensure preparation for their duty to assess any appeals. When you get these appeals letters, you're allowed to come in and appeal your assessment and take it before the board if it needs to go that far. Okay. The Board of Assessments Appeals will convene on Monday, July the 22nd. We have begun and continue to be in the ongoing communications with the sheriff and his tax bill vendor to ensure the tax roll data, file transfer, and the production of the tax bills are timely, orderly, accurate, and complete. Finally, a meeting has been scheduled with the Bullitt County School Service Superintendent the week of June the 10th for an update on assessments. We will discuss the compensating tax rate. If you have any questions, or if anybody can help you in our office, please feel free to come see us at any time. And I'd like to thank you all for having me speak. And John, thank you for loaning me your step stool. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And at this time, under new business, on the addendum, action item number 10, I'd like to make a recommendation to appoint Mike Hibbert Sr. to the Board of Assessment Appeals for the PBA. And I know Mike's here somewhere. I made the motion and second by First District Magistrate Mitchell. The term will expire June 30th, 2022. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Mr. Longston?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, Bob. First reading and public hearing of zoning ordinance, Felicia, come on, 2019 ZMC -14, Andrew Gray, Lisa Parker.
Good evening. This is a planning commission docket 2019-Z-18. The applicant is Andrew Gray and Lisa Baker. They're asking to rezone their property R1 to agricultural. The R1 is 3.22 acres. It currently is a split zoning between R1 in the front of the property, agricultural in the back. It's located at 4069 Knob Creek Road. They are proposing to rezone the R1 portion and combine it with the agricultural portion, so they'll have 10.074 acres. The comprehensive plan shows agricultural, rural, residential. And the planning commission held a public hearing on May 9th, 2018. And based on the testimony at that hearing, the Bullitt County Planning Commission finds the requested zoning change is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan and sends a favorable recommendation to fiscal court.
Thank you, Felicia. Rob?
The first reading of Commonwealth Kentucky County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 19-14, an ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from R1 residential to agricultural. The property in question is 3.22 acres more or less, located at 4069 Knob Creek Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the fiscal court of Bullitt County considered the evidence of public hearing held by the planning commission and the recommendations of the commission. Whereas the fiscal court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the planning commission for said zoning change and approves and accepts the recommendations of the planning commission in this matter as set out in said minutes. Now therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of the county of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the planning commission and document number 2019-Z-18, to provide change from R1 residential to agricultural. Section 2, this ordinance takes effect upon passage and publication. Section 3, should any section provision requires the ordinance to be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, that the remainder of this ordinance will not be effective to remain in full force and effect. The first reading and public hearing, the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 4th day of June 2019, to begin a second reading and vote upon at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 18th day of June 2019.
Thank you, Rob. Any comments for this zoning or any comments against the zoning? Hearing none. Item number 2, discussion of cleanup days. Larry couldn't make it tonight, but this coming Saturday, the 8th, from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m., North Bullitt High School in the parking lot. We've got Washington Middle School in the parking lot as well. You can bring literally anything that you want, from mattresses to old appliances to furniture, and there'll be plenty of help and plenty of containers there to be able to help clean the county up. The second one will be June the 22nd, again from 8 to 4, at the Lebanon Junction Elementary School in the parking lot, Old Shepherdsville High School over here in the parking lot, and also at the Nichols Elementary School in the parking lot. And they won't accept garbage, yard waste, cars, and items containing freon or hazardous materials or paint. So feel free, this is a service that the county provides. Take your excess waste to the cleanup days. We have action to be requested on the one-year contract for Health Time Inc., the health services provider for the detention center. They've been here on a 4-month trial basis, and magistrates, you've had the contract in front of you, and it's the same contract that was written for the 4 months prior to. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the one-year contract for Health Time Incorporated Health Services Provider for the detention center.
Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Lawson to approve the Health Time contract for 1 year for the detention center. Second by Magistrate Grayhill, Sam, call roll.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Longston?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Item number 4, it's an action requested on the resolution 19-07. It's an annual standing order for the fiscal court to pre-approve certain recurring expenses, utilities, etc.
Motion.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, second by Second District Magistrate Lawson. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Longston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 5, we can't have a second reading on ordinance 19-13, because the head of DOG, she hasn't signed our budget yet, and we can't do that until she signs it. Actions requested, item number 6, requested a memorandum of agreement. Director Harden, or your JTC person here tonight, with Jefferson Community Technical College and Bullitt County Emergency Medical Services for the purpose of training our own EMTs and paramedics and a ride-along program for those in the college curriculum.
If we could take just a minute, the Deputy Director knows has been familiar with this college for several years now. He take a minute to explain why we want the relationship with JCTC.
Good evening, everyone. We've had an agreement with JCTC for quite a few years, and the benefit, there's no monetary benefit to us, but the benefit is people come out and they ride with Bullitt County, we create relationships with them, and they do get coverage, and it's happened many times, they apply, and we pick up employees that way. Plus, it does give us a chance to give back to not just us, but surrounding communities. Louisville Metro, and they supply this, Gallo Ambulance, a few of the others, Hardin County. That, like I said, there's no monetary benefit, but relationship-wise, and allows us to pick up more employees. So, most of them are. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll make a motion that we accept the agreement between Jefferson Community and Technical College and Bullitt County Emergency Medical Services.
Second.
Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logston, a second by Fourth District Magistrate Brayhill to approve the MOA. Sam, call the roll.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Longston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And Director Harden, while you're here, we also need action requested on the current paramedic, Matthew Connors.
Yes, sir.
He was part-time and we want to make him full.
Yes, he's currently part-time, and he's requested to go full-time, and we told him that he'll lose $1 an hour, but he'll gain benefits. He's wanting the benefits and wanting to work full-time for both counties, so we recommend that the fiscal court approve him.
That's a good thing. We're starting to have 30 minutes out of everybody else.
Try to get some back.
That's a good thing. Yes, sir.
So we have 3 beginning of the year, now we've got 9 full-time, is that correct?
We got 9.
11, 10.
We got 9 paramedics right now, full-time. Right now, we have 4 EMTs that are getting ready to become paramedics that already work here. We have 2 advanced EMTs that already work here that are coming in the next 2 or 3 months. They'll be paramedics. So that's going to increase us up to, 6 more. So 15 paramedics. Come a long way.
One in each truck for a long time.
It keeps going this way, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll make the motion to hire paramedic Matthew Connors from part-time to full-time at a rate of $21.75 an hour. I got 2 seconds at one time. First is Mitchell. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Longston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 7, action requested to obtain an Attorney General opinion on quarter annexations. I need a motion. Or, Steve wants to speak for this one.
Please.
Earlier I gave you each copy, just a brief statement I'd like to read. Corridor and/or leapfrog annexation is a practice that cities and communities across the Commonwealth have been utilizing to increase their size, thereby increasing their tax base for growth. Corridor and/or leapfrog annexation circumvents the KRS statutes requiring the process of providing for a legal vote so taxpayers in the area can vote for or against any annexation. The city of Shepherdsville has utilized corridor and/or leapfrog annexation in recent years to grow the city limits to increase the tax base, most recently property along Chappies Lane. Included is a copy of the aerial map that Attorney Eric Ferris distributed to the Shepherdsville City Council when he requested on behalf of his clients that the properties outlined in red be annexed to the Shepherdsville city limits. These properties were approved by the City Council for annexation. The property marked Miller is not adjacent or contiguous to either the other property marked in red, nor to any current Shepherdsville city limit boundary. The roadway, Chappies Lane, was used to provide the requirement of adjacent or contiguous as required by the KRS statute. A letter signed by KYTC District 5 engineer Matt Bullitt giving permission to annex the roadway is their basis for allowing this process. Also clearly shown on the aerial map between the two properties outlined in red is an entire subdivision along with many single-family homeowner properties. These taxpayers never had the opportunity to legally vote for or against this annexation as required by the statute. This is corridor and/or leapfrog annexation. In conversations with Kentucky State Attorney General's office, we have been advised to ask the Bullitt County Fiscal Court to formally request the AG's office to investigate this annexation by the city of Shepherdsville and to provide an opinion to determine if it is a legal annexation. We, the taxpayers of the area around this annexed property, have asked that this request be made by the Fiscal Court.
So what we're doing is we're making a motion to ask the Attorney General if this was legal to do, or his opinion.
That's what it appears. The people believe that it is a core annexation, which has been previously answered by Kentucky General Opinion back in 2012. And there's current cases that address that. But I think specifically what they wish the court to do is have the Judge Summers request specifically that the annexation done by the city of Shepherdsville on property owned by either George Miller or his entity, whether or not that complies with current annexation law. That was really the part of it. Now, you can do that, and I will advise the district officer aware of this. An attorney general's opinion is just that, and his opinion has no force of law. If it comes back favorable, it may well alter their ability to go forward, but it does not impact or direct a court routine resolution. But it's my understanding that apparently the current attorney general wants legislative bodies to request these opinions, not individuals, hence the request. If the judge wishes the county attorney in your drafting of this opinion letter, we'll be glad to do so.
I'll make a motion that we ask as a court or as a judge to ask the current county attorney or county general attorney to give an opinion about this annexation.
And I'll second the motion. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Watson?
No.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Comments from the magistrates? First, Assistant Magistrate Mitchell. Second District.
I'm good. Thanks to see everybody out here for the meeting. Once again, I want to thank Tricia for being here again. Thanks for everything you've done.
There's a Cure for Cancer event this coming Saturday at the W Center. And also here, we're going to be doing a Medal of Honor recipient, the first and only one that we know of here in Bullitt County. It's going to start at 1 o'clock, it'll be in front of the courthouse. So at this time, speakers, and to remind speakers, there's a 3-minute limit. Elsie?
Try to make the most use of that 3 minutes, but there's no comments. The first thing I want to bring up is this purchase of the skid steer, which is why I asked you about the LGA fund. The common person out on the street, I don't really understand these paper laws, which is your LGA fund and the appropriation report. But it looks like back in January, there was a $90,000 withdrawal from the LGA fund, which you stated earlier is for road materials, possibly labor, but not equipment. So that $90,000 ended up split up, from what it looks like to me, between machine equipment and motor vehicle equipment over in the road department's budget. Now, I know the first of the year, your current road department director had asked to purchase a skid steer from Wayne in the amount of $80,000, or $80,365. It was tabled to the next meeting. Then the action was requested again, which the fiscal court agreed to go ahead and purchase this skid steer, which it went from $80,365 up to $84,907. It just looks a little odd that $90,000 came out of the LGA fund, went into possibly the asphalt fund, and then from there, a total of $80,000 or $90,000 was transferred to machinery and equipment, and then to motor vehicle and equipment. So my question is, if this is for the LGA fund for asphalt only, where's that $90,000, and is that the $90,000 that was put over here into the machinery and equipment for him to be able to purchase that skid steer? Don't expect an answer today. Y'all can get back with me later, you know how to reach me. I know y'all have lots of funding for the road department. There's the flex fund, the discrepancy fund, the LGA fund, all that kind of stuff. And once a year for the fiscal court year, you all get to pick a certain amount of roads to turn into the state to be blacktop and paved. I talked to people at the State Department, and they gave me the list of the 7 roads that was approved through this last fiscal court session. 3 of those 7 roads was actually in District 1, which does not surprise me. The one in District 2 for us was Bethel Church, but we only got a portion of that road paved, only 1.29 miles. So that's one of my first questions. I want to make sure when we do the next one and everybody is picking roads, can we make it a little fairer and split it out more amongst the districts and not have everything in District 1? 500 Cross Creek Road. Now, I had me and a couple of my friends go out and videotape some of these roads that the people, I put a poll on Facebook and I asked them, which roads in Bullitt County are the worst? Which ones need the attention? When Hike was the director of the road department, he would actually go out and ride these roads in Bullitt County, give his opinion on which roads needed to be worked on, turn back in, and that's what was done. I don't know that the current supervisor, director, whatever it is doing this, because everything that's getting page or attention is in District 1, which he is also the constable of. Could be 2 separate issues. But I know when they were doing Cross Creek Road, I went up there and videotaped that. It is a dead-end street. At the end of that street is 2 nice little concrete pillars that says, "Do not enter." Private property that belongs to Rick and Linda Spurling. I found out since then, from one of the people that live up there on Cross Creek Road, that our road department paid, or blacktop, a percentage of their personal and private driveway. Now, I would also like an answer to why is my taxpayer dollars paying to pave a private person's driveway. Over on Pitts Point Road, when they just paved that one, the director was running the roller, and whatever malfunction that used water or whatever, he ruined someone's driveway at the end and burnt a portion of their grass when they were pouring whatever on it to get the blacktop off the road. Nothing has been done to remedy that person's driveway or that person's grass, but yet we paved this person's driveway. One of the roads in Mount Washington that really needs to look at, and me and Sean has talked about this, is Hubbard. Armstrong, Hubbard, and Bogart are 3 of the worst roads in Mount Washington, now that we've got Greenbrier widened. Thank you very much for that. Hubbard was first brought up in November of 2016. It has yet to be touched. It's been brought up again in September of 2018. Has yet to be touched. However, Weaver's Run was brought up for resurfacing back in 2017. That was in May. In June of 2017, we contracted with Global Paving, according to the minutes for fiscal court, to mill and pave with Global Paving on Weaver's Hill Run. Again, on May of 2018, we asked again for the Flynn Brothers to do repairs on Weaver's Hill Road. Then in November of 2018, it had hillside. So we've already paid 2 different companies to fix this road, and it's still falling apart. Once again, December of 18, we asked for bids to repair it again, and we got no bids. And all my information is coming from the minutes that I had printed off from this courthouse. Then in January of this year, it says that we have contracted this out to Hinkley. But then they did a retraction in March that is actually through Henneke Drilling. Now, I looked up Henneke Drilling online, and the only thing it tells me that they do is transport equipment. However, a friend of mine who does personal home care in northern Bullitt County and southern Jefferson County saw our road department over on Weaver's Hill Run doing some kind of work because they had the road blocked, so she couldn't send me pictures of what they were doing, but she sent me pictures of the road department sitting out there. So are we contracting this out? Are we doing it ourselves? How come it's taken so many times to get this road fixed? And why is there not a warranty on any kind of the work that we've already paid for? One of them to the tune of $142,000 back in 2018 on this road. Why do we have to keep going back and fixing it? And why is our road department doing it now if we have it contracted out to someone else?
Okay.
So that's all I have. You can call me back when you get answers.
All right, thank you.
Pipeline people, good.
Thank you, Mayor.
Laura Van Campen?
Sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lori Van Campen. I'm a lifelong resident of Bullitt County. My husband and I own property in Fire Valley Road. This property was severely affected by the illegal dumping that took place recently on the property located at 2713 Brooksville Road, owned by Virgil Warren Jr. As I'm sure you're aware, Mr. Warren has been in trouble with varying governing bodies multiple times for illegal dumping on his property over the years. He was fined and shut down for running an illegal slaughterhouse, where he dumped rotting animal carcasses over the side of the hill from his property. I understand he was made to clean that disaster by his complaining neighbors and local law enforcement. During the cleanup of the latest atrocity of allowing over 200,000 gallons of concrete slurry to be dumped over the side of the hill from his property/dump, effectively creating a disaster for those of us living downstream, I understand that several new and fresh animal carcasses were recovered, proving that Mr. Warren will not adhere to the regulations governing the illegal waste dumping on his property. In my opinion, this is a clear-cut case of thumbing his nose at the Bullitt County ordinances for dumping and the officials who try to enforce them. He has been the recipient of more fines and notices of violations than I can uncover at this time, and still proceeds to dump what he wishes, whenever he wishes, on his property, without any concern for what harm it could do to his neighbors and those of us living downstream from his property. Yesterday, he placed a sign at the end of his driveway on Brooks Hill Road saying, "Dump open." This, to me, means a public dump. My concerns about this are many, but my question is singular. Why would the county allow someone who obviously is unconcerned with operating within the legal ordinances of Bullitt County or the moral guidelines of humanity to operate an illegal dump in our county? If there is any question to the legality of this, please refer to page 54 in the Bullitt County Planning and Zoning Regulations, where it clearly states that a dump is illegal on any property zoned other than conservation, stream valley reserve, light industrial, or general industrial. And even in these cases, a conditional use permit is required to operate a dump. I believe it's been well established that Mr. Warren does not think a permit is worth his time or effort. Clearly, this dump is located, on Brooks Hill Road, owned by Virgil Warren Jr., and zoned agricultural as of today, when I checked with the planning and zoning, is illegal. So my single question stands, why would it be allowed? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get to the next one.
remember the Friends of Cedar Grove that's been plugging pipeline and industrial infrastructure growth on our farms in eastern Bullitt County. Mr. Summers, the Friends of Cedar Grove addressed our concerns to this committee over the pipeline over 2.5 years ago, and most recently to you several weeks ago with no action taken to this point. No actions taken by either the previous administration or yours. As a reminder to the audience and other distinguished members of the Fiscal Court, we spoke at some length on the illegality of the original pipeline permit issued by the Kentucky Public Service Commission. It was dispensed under the auspices of a rate increase with only a mention of using the rate increase to fund an actual extension of the Calvary line that runs through Mount Washington. LG&E submitted the request for a permit under false pretense to avoid conducting a full environmental impact study and/or an environmental assessment. Once the permit was issued allowing LG&E to forego the required EIS or EA, they changed the terms of the reference on all their documents referring to the high-pressure gas line as just simply new construction. This action was taken by LG&E to avoid the required deadline for both the cathodic testing and reverse flow diagnostics that is required to both federal and state law. They requested 2 known extensions for this testing, and information gathered from our FOIA request indicate that they have yet to meet these requirements. And yet they've been allowed to submit a permit to the Corps of Engineers for a nationwide permit that allows them to ignore the testing of the original Calvary gas line. This line is a high-pressure service line that is over 70 years old and in place and has been in place before the state and the federal laws were actually enacted to support and defend the citizens in our environment. Your constituents and the taxpayers of the Commonwealth stand here before you today to request formal intervention on behalf of the landowners, our family members that have been mistreated, threatened with financial ruin, intimidated, some of whose estates, to include mine, that have illegal injunctions placed on them, all in an attempt to coerce, force landowners to sign easements that are illegal by the very nature of how this whole process and the permitting was allowed. Know now that your failure to interject and force LG&E to meet the standards set forth under the current KRS and CFRs and the guidelines set forth by our state and federal government is consummate to acting as an accessory, an accessory to the injustices that have been served and promulgated on the taxpayers of this county by LG&E, its contractors, and state agencies who have refused over 2 years to enforce the very laws that govern our land, our natural resources, the wildlife of other endangered species and habitat that makes up our community. The large number of infrastructure projects that are now earmarked for our communities have been kept largely in the dark from the taxpayers from this county and within the other communities within the county. Hidden by the backdoor deals from the Bullitt County Economic Development Authority and our local politicians, only now have we been successful at shedding light on who actually these ill-begotten characters are and who they were. Chosen by someone no one knows in the community, and yet they make all the decisions for the infrastructure improvements on the taxpayers' land. This state and county has facilitated the ability of unelected officials to determine the fate of the taxpayers' families, our kids, our homes, and our farms, without so much as a word of support from the very people who we pay your members' salaries to. This arguably could be considered a corrupt cabal. The Friends of Cedar Grove are asking you, Jerry Summers, to take action now and demand a full environmental impact statement and an assessment to ensure LG&E has conducted the required surveys in accordance with KRSs and CFRs, as so stipulated in both the state and federal regulatory guidelines used to oversee and govern these connected actions. These connected actions include the road construction projects, many are not aware of, the build-up and destruction of the floodplains being executed by the Flynn brothers near the new exit ramps on I-65 corridor, the proposed bypass roads that Representative Weber spoke of 3 weeks ago down in Claremont. This also includes the I-71 connector the LG&E high-pressure gas line, and on and on. Each of these projects are interconnected, and they amount to arbitrary and capricious actions based on the combined effects of all these infrastructure projects posed by overwhelming our natural air, our polluting our air, and our other natural resources. This also includes expediting and the demise of our endangered species, the destruction of our forests to include the dangers presented to the landmark conservatory known worldwide as Bernheim Forest. This area and large tracts of homesteads and farms represent an unprecedented ecologically sensitive corridor that you are enabling LG&E and projects, roads and projects to destroy by forcing tenants of the land to grant illegal easements. Lastly, LG&E has ignored the existence of sensitive cultural areas which include known locations of Native American artifacts on our homesteads. They've also ignored and refused to accept, they've also refused to acknowledge the Native American artifacts, as well as even demanded easements on farms that have been surveyed and documented by the state that include slave cemeteries in East Bullitt County. None of our politicians have acted on any of these irregularities. We citizens demand that our elected officials stand up and protect our communities. We've entrusted you to ensure our family's quality of life, our way of life, and our property to be protected. The Friends of Cedar Grove and larger Bullitt County will know on short order, Mr. Summers, and the committee that sits here before us, whether you're going to stand with us or you're going to stand with big business. So we ask you for your support.
I'm Paul Whitworth. I'm a farm on Diesel Road. I'm also associated with Friends of Cedar Grove, Friends over at Claremont. We have many of the same issues and concerns that Colonel Parker addressed. We've been partly gone for over 2 years. That when you look at this pipeline, anything that's involved, federal actions anywhere along through associated with this, has to look at the big picture of everything that is connected. And as we look through this ballot, there are all kinds of connections. But before we get there, we have to look at the original foundations of the permit that was issued by the Kentucky Public Service Commission, which was invalid and illegal, that we've gone on and on in the details of why it's invalid and illegal. But anything after that is invalid and illegal. There's problems. That pipeline, which is 70 years old, 53 miles long, cannot pass federal inspections for safety or cathodic protection. The trunk line could go at any time. Within the documents LG&E put out, they're talking about reverse flows, pushing the gas the opposite way that it's designed for. The United States Pipeline Hazard Materials Safety Administration says you cannot do that. It goes boom. There's a problem with that. Pipeline can't pass safety inspections. You're going to do something that it can't pass basic inspections, and you're going to do something different than what it is supposed to be designed for. Another problem, cathodic protection. That the plans from LG&E is to put this pipeline right alongside the East Kentucky power line. Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has done like 50 environmental impact statements, environmental assessments saying you cannot do this. The pipeline has electrical current that messes up the power lines. The power lines can affect the pipeline. It can make things go boom. Something that we don't want to do, and there's got to be some minimum separation to protect the public from that. As part of this also, what we found out is that there's been 12 wells drilled across this pipeline. They've done all kinds of things that have not been disclosed to the public. All the stuff that was covert, hadn't been disclosed, did not have public involvement. These 12 wells that we know of, 3 of them were dug at 320 feet deep. If you're going to put a pipeline maybe 10 feet deep, 5 feet deep, why do you drill down 320 feet? Why do you do that? And what's your concern about that? Well, some of our landowners get real concerned that they're planning on coming in and installing natural gas lines. 3 of the wells blew natural gas for a week. And people went off in all directions. It scared the local farmers. But no one's told us why. What the records indicate or suggest, okay, it could be for natural gas. It could be for fracking. The more likely scenarios are natural gas storage. Now, overall hill, they have a 13-acre natural gas storage field. And it hasn't been disclosed to the public as far as why. What are they doing drilling these wells for? So when we look at the big picture, everything has to be considered in its entirety. That all these things are interrelated. Each has environmental impacts that you haven't gotten down the road yet, thinking in terms of I-71 going through the same area across Bernheim Forest. The National Highway Transportation Safety Act of 1966, I believe it was, Section 4F, says you're not going to cross Bernheim Forest because public parks, wildlife refuges, special areas require special protections. And also we have issues about ozone that we can't pass right now on Non-Contaminant Clean Air Act. But we have all kinds of public safety issues associated with this pipeline that we need to take a step back and look at all the things that are going on. Because anything that involves federal funding, or we talk about I-71 connector, or we talk about I-65 improvements, the X-114 construction that's going on, etc. All of them, the National Environmental Policy Act requires public involvement, public disclosure, and environmental analysis, all these things. And part of it being public safety and giving the people, such as people in Claremont, people in Cedar Grove, Solitude, the opportunity to know what's going on and the opportunity to influence this whole process decision. As we look back through all these processes, all these things have not met those legal requirements. Public notification, public involvement, environmental analysis. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to us tonight, this afternoon. All of us really in this area have had a lot of problems identifying with the people that are supposedly taking care of what we are, what we do. I guess the main reason is that we don't know anything. All we hear is rumor. All we find out is through people asking, not getting answers, but finding out from other folks, from institutions, from that there's a power line going here, there's a extension roads going here. Then all I want to ask is that, as a person, as an individual, if it affected you, you'd want to know. We just want to be aware of what the situation is and find out who's going to protect us. I mean, I'm not against growth. Growth has to. You have to have growth, or our world goes the other way. I don't want that. But people like us that work for a living and bought our places, we need to have some protection from the people that we elected to take care of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Allen.
Good evening. I'm also going to discuss the pipeline. A lot of it's been covered already, and I have a lot to cover, so I'm going to try to be quick within 3 minutes. First, I want to start out by talking about 2 indisputable facts. 1, LG&E filed with Public Service Commission to keep the pipeline path secret indefinitely, with the reason for secrecy noted that the pipe would create potential for a target of a terrorist attack. These are words that Public Service Commission put on paper. Second fact, per John Snyder's email to his own team dated 5/16/19, John clearly writes that he has been unable to ascertain information from LG&E due to the repeated mention of the word terrorism. John Snyder's words in an email. With this knowledge that even the utility acknowledges the danger and our own officials accept potential terrorism as a reason for secrecy, why are you promoting this pipeline? On May 15th, the Pioneer News noted that Keith Murphy stated that our county is one natural disaster away from financial ruin. An explosion is not a far-fetched idea, given that the planned pipeline will connect to a 70-year-old pipeline that has never managed to pass inspection. In fact, a recent test resulted in the testing tools getting stuck in the line and, quote, sheared. high-pressure water tower. The gas line will run parallel and perpendicular to all of these utilities. This alone is a recipe for disaster, so much so that the other utilities refer to this land as Malfunction Junction. Additionally, 1 mile of the route has no access to city water, which will result in complete devastation should there be an explosion. You men are promoting this pipeline, and the citizens of Bullitt County deserve to know why. My group met with Jerry in this room on May 8th. At that time, Jerry claimed to have no knowledge of concern about the pipeline directly before Jerry admitted the same. You admitted the same after I refreshed your memory that I was a poster on Facebook who had made concerns about a year ago during election time, and you had 2 men reach out to me and request that I remove my post. And at that point, you admitted, yes, you knew about the concerns. You also stated that you were a member of EDA when you found out about the gas line. You said clearly that you recused yourself because you knew serving the EDA and involvement with the gas line that is meant to serve Jim Beam would be improper. I agree with that. The reality is that I have a stack of emails from you and to you with me today that prove without a doubt that you were involved in the planning of this gas line while as an employee of Beam and serving on the EDA. I'll be glad to share those emails with anyone interested in seeing them. Also, I would encourage people to watch the video posted by Kenny Coley on Facebook to verify what I'm saying about your alleged recusal. This can be seen in the last 4 minutes of the hour-long video that has been seen by 4,000 people. Your involvement as a member of the EDA for the gas line that will affect residents and is meant to serve Jim Beam is in fact inappropriate, as you are there when you claim to recuse yourself. Shortly after my group's meeting with you on May 8th, you scheduled a 3-hour-long meeting with Jim Beam. Also shortly after, you stood before us and you said you would help us if you knew how. John Snyder met with his team and decided to write a letter to LG promoting the hastening of this pipeline directly after that meeting. Jerry, I'm asking you to tell the truth because the people of Bullitt County deserve it. You told us repeatedly that you would be square with us, but all you've given us smoke, mirrors, and silence since May 8th. Who is it that you represent? We are the residents here. We are the taxpayers here. We deserve representation. We deserve answers.
Generation of calls on home. Jerry Summers, we stood here in front of you and we trusted you, and we asked you to help us. We explained to you that the filings of the Public Service Commission contained illegal, erroneous filings. You stood here in front of us on May 8th and you said, I'm sorry, I'm just now learning about this pipeline. I recused myself from all of the meetings. Going forward, I have just now learning of the details. The documents that we've been provided by John Snyder don't say that. I've had numerous conversations with John Snyder, numerous. And this is what he said to me. He said it on WDRB in the interview. I don't know if you will watch the interview again. John Snyder said, Kimberly, I merely met with LG&E one time in 2016, and I provided them with a map of potential possible growth. That's it. I said, John, how did this get this far? Because Jerry is claiming he's not the one that did it. John sent us this. It's an email, and it's actually written after the FOIA request, which means he didn't have to supply this, I don't believe. Not an attorney, but I don't think so. In this, it basically says, and I'll give it to the court, it says that he repeatedly asked LG&E to show him where this route was going to go. He said he didn't choose this route. He had next to no input in the route. And in fact, every time he asked LG&E, they cited reasons of terrorism as to the reason we were discussed. This thing was shrouded in a veil called terrorism. It's a terrorist attack target. And yet, you guys are okay with running 30 feet from our bedroom windows where our children may get hurt. And I don't understand that. I've had conversations with Jerry Summers where you've explained to me that our county is practically bankrupt. Keith Rippey, and I'm sorry I've never met you, but you've put in the Pioneer News that we're one natural disaster away from financial ruin and devastation, and yet you're inviting financial ruin and devastation right here up to our front porches. Jerry, 4,000 people have now watched that video when you said, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'll get to the bottom of this and I'll help you people. Then what you did, and I've spoken to John Snyder, what you all did was you got in the room and you sent a letter to LG&E. And you know what the letter said? It said, hurry it up, basically. I'm paraphrasing, but it said, hurry it up. You also told me you were going to have a conversation with the Public Service Commission. And I want to know how many numerous emails I sent you saying, Mr. Summers, what happened? Public Service Commission, nothing. The other thing, and I guess Mr. Bullitt just impacts you, but I said to you, Jerry, please, just pull the county road permits that were issued to LG&E. If you would pull the county road permits, if you would pull them, it would stop this entire project dead in its tracks. And then you could have public meetings with the people. Tell us what's going on. Tell us about the dangers we're about to come and smack us in the face. Let us talk to you. Let's have rational, normal conversations about this and figure out if this really makes sense for our county. Because I don't think that it does. And I can't imagine that you know that it does. This is the email from John Snyder. But John Snyder is telling me he had nothing to do with this. And I said, so who do I talk to now? You're saying you just learned about it, yet we have a stack of documents this thick showing where you signed the meetings. In fact, one meeting, you sent an email that John Snyder was providing. You sent an email to John Snyder saying, hey, I won't be able to attend this meeting, but I'm sending, I think his name is Kevin Evans, who's head of operations for Jim Beam. I don't understand. I don't understand. And I don't think many people here understand. And I also don't understand how our county's bankrupt. That makes no sense to me. And if we are, and we don't have enough animals, we don't have a hospital, why are we inviting something that is a potential target for a terrorist attack? I don't understand. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Kimberly Roberts.
Charity Wilson. I am also involved in the pipeline, it's running directly through our farm. My husband's family is a fifth-generation farm, and I'm also one of those that do not have youth access to city water, out of the internet service, out of the phone lines, and not to mention, we are a good 20 to 25 minutes away from policing units. So my question to you all, not only for the people who are affected by this pipeline that they are directly in response to going through the lane, being raped and robbed of their land, but to the neighbors who have absolutely no idea because of the secrecy behind this, they are unaware. This week, we've been approached by one of my neighbors who is not directly involved in the pipeline, that it's going to access her via, is it exposed or anything like that. It's going to affect her. So many neighbors are unaware of what the potential of this pipeline can do and expose them to. Just like they said, we keep hearing, we can't get answers because it's potential for terrorist attacks. And I know that's a tactic by LG&E and just to disclose the information from us, but that's what they're stating. And if they're stating it, what are you all going to do as far as adequate city water, EMS protection? Because clearly, stated above, we don't have enough EMS protection in the county. And with us being a good 20 to 25 minutes away, possibly 30 depending on traffic, because the roadways, there's absolutely no planning in this county at all for roadways or anything like that. So how can you all adequately distribute and back this pipeline when you all know what's coming? If we can't get the roadways clear, there's no water, there's nothing out there. What do you all plan to do to service us in that area? If we're gonna have a pipeline running through our property that you are going to, be behind, what are you all going to do for this area to service?
Make Jim Beam pay for something.
Wendy.
That's me.
Thank you guys. I've addressed you guys before about the concrete slurry that was done, and I don't want to repeat what Lori's already stood up here and said, but it was like a kick in the face yesterday to see the sign put up. I mean, we are all zoned as agricultural up there, so how is this even legal to begin with? When I stood before you guys back in April, you said that there was no permits. So how is this continuing to allow people? if you could see our land, yes, they come in and they cleaned up the concrete. But me and my neighbor, had approximately 4 acres of flat land down there, and it's like a mud soup up now. Because they dug all the creek beds rock out. So every time it rains, it's just, I mean, it's like a muddy soup bowl. He wanted to have a cow pasture down there. He had plans on building a home. I mean, that's all ruined now, and you're going to continue to allow this man to dump God knows what else. I mean, at this point in time, our creek is so delicate. I mean, it's literally in pieces, and everything that he's tossing over that hill is just adding insult to injury. And we would just implore you guys to please.
Done, for sure.
He sure has a sign up in the road that says.
We've got a sign in the article that says we've got 6 on too. It's their property, they put what they want, but there's no way that there's gonna be a legal dumping.
They're doing it. Dump trucks are going in there now.
I mean, it's happening.
They're still doing it?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
sir. There is. It's happening. There's already been rocked up.
The EPA should have stopped all of it. And that, they took
I
over.
contacted
everything
the
they needed.
EPA, Waste Management, like Don George, I believe was his name today, and he said that he's also
Duke York.
It should not be allowed.
I think that's something we definitely gotta look into. When I was looking for more information about that, though, I was under the understanding that anybody can dump anything as long as it's concrete, wood, natural products. So we've gotta make sure, and John, I wanna talk with you to find out more about that, but if it's a permit process that's not being followed, or a permit process that we need to strengthen up and actually maybe, add some regulations, ordinances to, I think we definitely need to look into that. But, you know, if they're dumping anything outside of what might be, I know the issues was before the slurry, and that was something that technically they didn't require a permit to begin with, it turned into a nightmare, I know. But that's something we definitely need to look into.
Well, the ground's supposed to be getting, the dirt's supposed to be getting inspected by a guy in Frankfurt right now to see what kind of stuff is in the dirt, because we don't know what all chemicals is in the dirt besides.
Have you all heard back from that report? I went to that meeting there when they were going to inspect the bottom of the hill. You have not heard back anything?
No, there's already dumping more.
Maybe we can have somebody try to reach out and see if they've got some answers to speed that process.
We called EPA today and told them about it.
At the minimum, it should be monitored because he's shown
Yeah, he
a
don't.
pattern of illegal dumping.
Right, even if it is the permit, whatever, there's a name for it, I understand, where you're allowed to dump certain things on your.
If you put a duck sign up or already.
Right, I mean, if it's already illegally, wrote on these statutes, I mean, how can you be allowed to dump anything? I mean, I don't care if it's his property or not at this point, as neighbors, as a resident of Bullitt County in the state of Kentucky, I mean, I deserve to have property not polluted myself.
And I think, John, I don't know if that's something we can look at, but one thing is, I mean, if you're planning zoning, if what they're indicating is right, if it is agricultural, if you do have a sign up, I mean, you can put a big sign up, but if you have a sign that says dump is open, you're being compensated for somebody to bring some stuff, in theory, that's a business.
Exactly.
It is business. We'll have to look at it because there are permitted dumps out of state that are for construction material development.
Right.
Which
And I do understand that, but I'm saying, I mean, with the violations that he's already caused in the past, how can he be allowed to continue to dump anything? He's obviously not trustworthy. He doesn't, follow, we read the Division of Waterway Acts.
If he has a permit from the state, and I don't know that he has, then that is an issue that the state should be addressing, as to whether or not you're going to let him out. He didn't do what he was supposed to do, he did wrong. But if it is a state permit, it overrides what we can do as a county, so we'll have to look at it for it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, thank you.
Before you leave, please.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you.
Good luck, pipeline people. We support you too.
I want to ask something because I'm new here, and this is, because if I had a pipeline going through my property, I'd be very upset too. But I just want to ask something because, me being new, I'm just a few months into this, 5 months into this. I didn't hear a whole lot about the pipeline when I was campaigning. Of course, I'm in District 2 in Mount Washington, and there's not many people, I know it's starting on the back end there, but not many people affected by that, and that may be a large part why. But I take a couple things very offensive because of me being new and stepping up here and not being involved. But I know I kept hearing a lot of times your constituents, failure to interject, accessory to injustice, corrupt. You men are promoting. You guys are okay with running a pipeline 30 feet from our kids' bedrooms. How can you all adequately back this? I mean, I take that personal a little bit, and I know that's your land. I would feel the same way too. But I've talked to a lot of people, and I've talked to numerous attorneys. I've talked to John. I guess my biggest question is everybody that I've talked to is a fiscal court member, because I would like to help. But it's my understanding 85% of people have already sold. So I'm asking you all what we can do, so hear me out. So I've read every comment on Facebook, I've read everything on there. And I'm new up here, but I guess when 85% of people have already sold their property and we're dealing with 15% of the people, when you look at your constituents, to me it seems like 85% of the people have already agreed to buy.
No.
I might be wrong.
I think 85% of the people did not want to fight. They would have to fight to stop it. They couldn't afford attorneys. They were told and reading the paper every big town in the country, eminent domain comes by invitation. So why fight?
Okay. I'm just asking.
That's it. Why fight? Now the rest of us are starting to find out more about what's happening. That's why we're coming to these meetings and asking you all.
And I'm asking just so, because I'm trying to understand what the fiscal court can actually do, because everybody that I've talked to has said that LG&E can do what they want to do that's out of our control. So I've been told that by numerous people.
Well, that's what.
So I want to know what it is, so, because I like to find solutions. So when you all come here, I've seen a lot of times in fiscal court, and I campaigned on this, and I don't want it to happen, is the same thing brought up court after court. So what is it that we can do, or what is it that you expect us to do or want us to do?
Well, I believe Mr. Park would address that by asking the court to ask the state to make sure that what they did was illegal. You know, it doesn't matter if 100% of the people sold. If they're doing it illegal, it's illegal. If they started out with a process that didn't follow the rules and regulations, that made it illegal. It doesn't matter where it goes. It doesn't matter how many people jump on the bandwagon. If it started out illegal, it's tainted fruit, and that's what they're asking you all to do. Similar to a Kentucky attorney's opinion, but in this case would be with EPA, with the regulators who control this type of industry. And that's what Mr. Parker, I think, asked you all to do. That's plain and simple.
Well, I want to talk about the 85% too, because I personally know two people. One is illiterate, who signed an easement agreement because they told him they would take his entire estate. He has no idea what he signed. I offered to read it to him. He has no concept of what he signed. He's not the only one. There are groups of people in this community who have been threatened, intimidated, put under extreme duress by hordes of LG&E people who have surrounded us when we're at home, alone, in isolated areas. Men with guns surrounding us on our property when our husbands aren't home.
Call the police.
A couple different issues about that. First off, 85% is not the problem. It's 85% that they're claiming of 150 landowners of easements received. Even with the quarter mile, there are numerous people that don't know what's going on. They kept everything over from the public. It actually said in documents. The lawyers actually wrote in documents, we want to keep this suppressed from the public so the public cannot oppose this and depress farm values so landowners do not go in. So this thing was, there's problems all the way through. They have disposed of these activities, but 85% only pertains to the 150 landowners. Nobody else along the line even knows about what's going on. Under community right no laws, if this was something else like that sludge permit, EPA issue we got, community right to know they've had it. So we've got an issue of problems that no one even knew about at the start. In your case, you need to look into it because that trunk line, the Calvary natural gas pipeline, goes through your area. Mount Washington and Bardstown are considered high consequence areas. So they're saying that, yeah, we've passed compliance of safety inspections on high consequence areas, but that's just in the city. The other 95% of it cannot pass pipeline inspection. So you've got a lot of constituents that are sitting on a pipeline that could go boom at any point in time that cannot pass federal inspections. So the basic premise of all this is that our lawyers can tell us, John Woolridge, et cetera, can tell us about facially invalid permits. That a facially invalid permit is something issued on the origin point that is invalid, is illegal throughout anything else. It's kind of like fruit that poisons the tree. Because it was tainted, dirty here, it's dirty all through the process. Any other permit, be it Army Corps of Engineers, Kentucky Division of Water, or anyone else, is problematic. So when we look at this, and we can give you pages of documentation of everything that was illegal, including Tom Barr's public announcements that could not meet federal regulations on what is required to put in for public notice. There have been no public disclosures. There haven't been any public hearings. There has not been public disclosure of all the connected actions. And so, starting up with a tainted process, it doesn't matter if everybody has signed off. It doesn't matter if every permit has been issued, because everything was illegal at the beginning. The process needs a restart from the very point of origin. That because they did not properly dispose, because they did not involve the public, because they did not meet the legal requirements of notice of process, anything, the Fed side, the Administrative Procedures Act will say all that stuff was invalid. Anything related to that is invalid. So we need to start over. That LG&E needs to come back at the very start, before we even start, the existing pipeline that your constituents are substituted to go boom. That existing pipeline needs to be brought into federal compliance for safety inspections and for cloud protection. That needs to happen before anything else. Once we've got a valid, safe pipeline of the 70 miles that exists right now, then LG&E can come back in and propose to the Public Service Commission. This is everything we're doing, including, oh yeah, we illegally drilled 12 wells without having permits. These are things we're going to do with these 12 wells. We're looking at putting either fracking or natural gas storage, etc. We're looking at doing these other things. Public Service Commission has to issue a valid certificate of public need convenience. It was not applied for. They didn't have it. It was hidden under a rate increase. It went through the process. Later on, Public Service Commission, wait a minute, but we probably need some kind of public involvement. We're going to put this notice in the paper, but that's not going to say anything about the pipeline. We're not going to hold a meeting down there in Bullitt County and tell them about it. So yeah, we have a meeting in Frankfurt on something that the public doesn't know about, so no one in the public comments on it because they don't know about it. Oh, and by the way, even though we didn't do these other things, it wasn't proposed as a pipeline because it was proposed as an extension, but later they changed it to a new pipeline. When you look under KRS statutes, and John Waters can look this up, KRS statute says, here's what the Public Service Commission has the authority to do. PSC has the authority to allow a new water pipeline that doesn't exceed $500,000. It has the authority to allow a new electric line that doesn't exceed a mile. Nowhere in there does it authorize 12 miles of brand new pipeline without going through this entire process. They refer to their own illegal activity with new pipeline as the foundation for retroactively authorizing the certificate of public need convenience that was never applied to, that was never properly processed. So the bottom line is, this thing needs to be reset from day go. Before it happens, the pipelines need to be brought into compliance with federal regulations. You have to pass federal safety inspections. It needs to be able to have cloud protection. Once they do that, then LG&E can put in a new application where they properly disclose everything to the public. The PSC actually holds public hearings, as we requested, by everybody, including the Public Service Commission, last 2 years. That they actually hold public hearings, they actually do public notification. They put public notices in the paper to meet the requirements under federal regulations, and the public gets involved. And then we go through this process as a reset, restart, look at all those other issues, such as going through the middle of federally endangered habitat, etc., and all the public safety issues, and have a good discussion about, do you really want your constituents sitting on a 70-year-old pipeline that can go boom because they want reverse flow? Or that church is going to be over here, the fire department's going to be worried about this power line being beside the pipeline and things are going to go boom. So our major safety issues, aside from the political issues, that require that we start this whole thing over, look at the science of it, have safe, valid infrastructure before we even start, and then look at, okay, here's these other overlay issues as far as environmental laws, safety, public concerns, people's concerns, etc. So that's the way to approach it.
I'm not going to comment because I think this is relevant also. This pipeline, why are we so damn angry? We're angry because it's not going to service Bullitt County. It's going to service Jerry's, Jim Beam brothers. It's going to serve the Flynn Enterprise. It's going to serve the Sullivans, the Millers, and all the other developers that have bought all of this, and the Brewers. Those individuals have bought up all that land before because this was approved way back in 2015 when the original survey was done. There were 10 routes surveyed. There were 2. There was a primary route authorized with an alternate route. LG&E took that from their surveys, they brought it over here, and the individuals, Jerry, that sat on that board were the ones that decided, they let Jim Beam decide the route and where the economic development was going to occur, which included the destruction and the dividing of our farms. That gas line is being run the way it is because it splits the majority of our farms exactly in half, and it facilitates the bypass road and interchange that's projected up there to have nothing but warehouses. So my question to you, sir, is you run a pipeline through your yard because you know it's going to pay for Jim Beam, it guarantees Jim Beam has low utility rates. Why isn't this county forcing Jim Beam, Amazon, and everybody else over there to pay for their own damn infrastructure, their own emergency services, their own fire trucks? We've had 3 homes burned down in the last 2 months on Clark's Lane and Ridge Road. All 3 of them burned to the ground. But somebody's using taxpayer money to put a fire department over here in the warehouses. How many people live over in the warehouses?
That's a city, that's a city.
That is a city. Colonel Parker made a point, I hope you caught it on the very front end, called arbitrary and capricious. My lawyers over here will explain arbitrary and capricious at another point. But this whole thing, when we look at this, the way that we set up the permits and allow this process to go down the road, is that anything that happens along this way is fallacious, is problematic. And when you look at we had a Kentucky Natural Resource Council put in a FOIA request. We have requested something long ago.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't know how to say this. I'm kind of hearing the same thing, I read the same thing, and I get all
All right,
that.
so you asked what you can do.
I want to know
You want to know
what
what
we
you
can do.
It is so easy.
That's what I want to hear.
Jerry Summers has all the power to protect his people. He just has to choose to do it.
And
he just has to pull the county road permits that were issued to LGE.
So that's what
It's
you're
so
requesting,
simple.
that's what I want to hear, you're requesting the
Pull
full
them,
county
pull
road.
those county road
Well,
permits.
let's-
Stop the project.
Related to that, where does he have power and control? The issue with Economic Development Authority is problematic when LG&E does studies on routes. They did studies on 10 routes, potential routes to take the pipeline. And lo and behold, a major consumer,
A large customer.
and Economic Development Authority said, wait a minute, screw those 10 routes, we're not going to use one of those. This is the route we want to take, right across this big level, right across this hill for these private interests. That's called arbitrary and capricious, making a decision on action separate from the analysis of studies of proposed routes. That's called
Here's one of my cards, anybody's welcome to take it. I'll make a motion to be adjourned, but you all answer my question, that's all I wanted to hear is basically, so what are you wanting us to do?
Would Jerry Summers tell us if he'll pull those road permits?
What is it you can do right now, call Public Service Commission and say, we want to have hearings here in Bullitt County, at least 2 hearings at City Rock School or Nine Elementary School, and as part of this, we want to disclose it and have public involved in this process.
Mr. Laszlo? Mr. Radel?
Yes.
Judge